This guy is just a brute, man. He's gonna go in and punch stuff.
It's a game of managing risk more than it is anything else.
Every aspect of the monster, not just little pieces.
That's just complete theory crafting,
It's
right?
time for me to kind of step up my game and see what I can do to be a better player.
Welcome to the Team Covenant Videocast here in the Convention Center in Indianapolis. This is where all the magic happens. You want to just pan this out? Show people. It's a little bit empty because it's late at night right now. But it's the Mecca. As you can see, there are tons of people. Lots of Magic players down there with the big black wall. Hordes, War Machine, Monster Apocalypse over here. Various war games. Some very cool looking stuff. And we got done with the Double Monster Tournament today, which left, as far as we know, the top 8 for Double Monster, and this is from a fairly reliable source.
Best I could do. Yet
somewhat inconsistent. Tim Bunn, Ken Jenkins, John Q, we think the John Q from Vassal, not 100% sure, haven't been able to verify that personally. Zach Bunn, Kevin Storm, Dragon from Chicago, not Ice Dragon, but
Just Dragon.
Just Dragon.
That's his thing.
Josh Grimillion, Grimyon, and then a random Robert, not Chicago Robert from Robert Portillo, but who's over there playing with Austin. Both of which did very well in the single monster. But a random Robert. We think it was a random Robert, and if
best we could come up with like a
random Robert
Tuppet.
Yeah, it's not. It's obviously not
It's not
Robert.
me. Yeah,
it's not Robert Johnson.
I was not playing because I do not play Monster Apocalypse.
Yeah. You don't do it anymore?
No, wait, I do this.
Yes.
You do this Zen thing.
This is ZenPoc.
And back on topic.
All right, sorry.
We got the top 4 on Double Monster. Number 1 is Kevin Storm. Glad to see that. Number 2 is Ken Jenkins. Also glad to see that, playing Radicals. 3 is John Q. Again, questionable if that is the John Q or a random John with a Q last name. We're not sure. And 4 is Josh Grimillion. So he did sneak in there. So what are we looking at? We're looking at both Grimillions.
Yeah.
We're looking at Kevin Storm, Ken Jenkins, John Q, questionable. Bilal, who's a wonderful Cthulhu player, the guy that beat me out. Two more.
Freddie, the guy with Laser Knight.
Freddie Dixon, who got first, with laser, with his 2-building Laser Knight. It was very beautiful, beautifully executed. And we have one more. Austin was 5th. Who was above him? Jeremy, Bilal, Freddie,
and Mark.
Mark Garten.
Yeah, Mark Garten.
Mark Garten. So that's a pretty good showing. We're happy with this. So these 8 players, congrats to them, and they will be playing on Sunday in the final battle where you have to bring one agenda essentially and 3 lists from each agenda to play in each of the matches. So you know what Mark's gonna bring? Any idea?
I could speculate. It's probably going to be macros.
Yes, collaborators. Yeah. So you got a macros MZM Voltus setup, which is pretty freaking strong. And then the question comes down to: do you play your strongest list first, or do you save your ace for last and hope that you can get by with your weaker matches? We're not sure how it's going to play out, but we will report on it. In the meantime, we've gone a bit insane.
Yep.
I'm feeling sick, maybe a bit feverish. I just took some aspirin from lack of sleep and various issues.
I think we're also in a really good mood from that dinner we had.
Dude, that dinner was amazing.
Very good mood. Enzo.
Yeah, Enzo Pizza.
Enzo Pizza.
If you're in downtown Indianapolis, go there.
Enzo Pizza.
Good customer service too.
Oh yeah, it was phenomenal.
Yeah. This game has sort of grown organically from the mind and spirit of Robert and I.
Supplied by my figures.
Supplied by Clay's graciously given figures.
That's right.
A game born of necessity, really.
The issue was we could not find a map. We didn't bring our Monpoc stuff today, so we couldn't find a map. And we couldn't find dice. So we
have all those available now. But
it doesn't matter. Don't spoil it.
We essentially created a game of Monpoc using no dice and no map. The map is here in our minds, and essentially it's kind of like a game of Mao, wherein you have to remember how your opponent has played the map and play it in the same way. So if Robert has used a speed boost in a certain area, then I now know that there's a speed boost there, and vice versa. So far, we've got a ability square here with nesting. An ability square here,
Right here.
with distract. And as far as we can tell, all this area is speed zones, with the exception of this space.
This one space.
Which
oddly
must-
enough, asymmetrically,
which
one
must be paid
space,
for.
It's not a speed zone. It's actually the only water tile on the map.
The second caveat to this, aside from the imaginary map, is we stick to Kaiju Conundrum rules. Dice is kept track of in your head. Once you meet the Kaiju Conundrum standard, you know, like if I have to beat a 6 defense, I have to beat 30 points. I use as many dice as that takes. But to adhere to the philosophy of Privateer Press, everything must come down to a dice roll. So, we don't have any dice, but we have a bottle cap. And what we have done is constructed a system in which once you meet or exceed the Kaiju Conundrum math, you then, your opponent places the bottle cap in either the left or right hand, and then the attacker must guess. If he guesses the correct hand, then the attack is successful. Incorrect, the attack has failed.
Strangely enough, there's a large metagame associated with what hand the bottle cap is in.
Some would say all attacks are 50-50 shots.
Exactly, but it's not true.
No.
How well do you know your opponent, and you can pretty well determine what hand the bottle cap
And on
is
top,
in.
you must spend dice to get the chance, just
Correct.
the chance to hit.
Correct.
Where I know now that Robert's bottle cap is in the right hand.
He's good.
You see, so the metagame has evolved with hand gestures, hand relaxations, and
So how
strengthenings.
tight is that hand clenched?
Yes. Is the clinch hand the fake clinch? Or
It's
is
the
it,
hand twitching.
Is it clinched because the bottle cap must be secured, or because you're faking your opponent out?
My Parkinson's helped me a little bit there.
So,
My shaky hands.
also we only have 6 units apiece, each with a vice pincher, which is completely worthless normally.
Hey, mine's
And
glass though.
especially worthless with
Red
all blast
flank.
units.
Red flank.
Okay, fair enough.
Get Ben.
So that's what we've been doing at Gencon. We walked the floor today for a good
3 or 4
5
hours. Yeah.
I'd say 5 hours.
Okay, fine.
You guys had like all these great stories to tell about games you got to play. And
They
everything.
weren't all great.
Yeah. No, there were some bad games.
Condescending professor.
Yeah, that was a good
Avoid
one.
Rorschach if you see it. Do not play that game.
We have to give a shout out to the Hollow Earth Expedition.
Yeah, this was the
RPG,
highlight of the day.
where Robert, Jonathan, and myself gathered around for a role-playing session for about 20 minutes. And Robert was playing the snooty professor. I was
Perfectly,
playing
by the way.
the wandering hero. And Jonathan behind the camera was playing the filmmaker. And we were set in a... Basically the campaign is you go down into a crack that's opened up in the earth, and there's this magical world down there where things have evolved differently, where there's people down there searching for treasure, wealth, knowledge, success, fame, you name it. And
One of the sellers described it as Indiana Jones plus Jurassic Park in Land of the Lost.
Very
There are
fitting.
Nazis. There are Nazis. It's in 1936. It's great.
The art too.
I hope so.
So I was down there as their guide, and the filmmaker and the snooty professor were there for their reasons, and 2 other friends joined us. And what we ended up doing was walking around and getting in an encounter with a T-Rex, which Jonathan then filmed, and one of our heroes shot at and missed because he had only blanks in his gun. Robert proceeded to tell us
How to properly defeat the monster.
how to properly defeat the monster in the most condescending
Condescending
way.
manner possible. Yeah.
Which gets us into one of the real perks of this game is that everybody takes a character personality flaw. And every time you act that out, you get points, which you can then spend on things that will help the party. So it's a real good way for even Robert, who's a snooty professor, who's not going to stab a Tyrannosaurus Rex, he can be snooty and then distribute his points to the rest of the team and help them deal with the threat.
Which I was really racking up some points.
He was racking up points.
Doing a really good job.
Yes, and has since racked up probably about 17.
He keeps a very good count.
Yes, he is yet to break character.
He's kind of making my life miserable.
Actually,
to be
I thought it
honest.
was 19, wasn't it?
Thank you, Robert.
You're welcome.
Way to still trap mine there.
Other highlights, we got to demo Hordes of War Machine.
Yeah.
And, Clay has been a big influence on us there, and we are definitely excited about that game. It looks really fun. Another brilliant production of Privateer Press, and we're going to get into that more and more. We talked to the Guts and Gears, isn't that the name? Guts and Gears, who did the big Hordes War Machine podcast over from the UK. And hopefully we're going to do a joint podcast with them tomorrow or Sunday if we can squeak it in. And who knows?
And we had that lovely conversation with DC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and DC is just the guy. He's
better bit of terrific.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier that he's Hellman Monpok now.
He's the guy you want in charge of your game, and we've got him. So it's awesome. Anyway, I think that's about it. We've got.
What are you doing tonight? Yeah.
We got a spoils booze draft that I'm going to be in, starting at Jonathan and I both, starting in about 30 minutes. I just think the winner. I think the winner gets a nice fancy bottle of scotch or whiskey or something. So we'll try that out, and then tomorrow we've got a spoils sealed for an Xbox, which we'll both play in and have fun. Play some more Monpok. We'll film the matches on Sunday and report on those on Twitter, which will be way more active because we will actually be there rather than walking around doing our own thing. And that's pretty much it. What do you guys? You guys have anything to?
I'm going to show you more Hordes and War Machine. Open your eyes. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to War Machine particularly.
In fact, DC said he was going to give you guys a demo tomorrow.
He did say he was going to
DC will be giving us a demo. Hopefully we'll film that too, but we'll see.
I'm probably going to maybe even put like together my gun bjorn or something and paint that up. It's going to look sick.
Nice. And on top of that, we are going to be interviewing DC and hopefully Schick and anyone else who will give us their ears, eyes, and everything else. Well, not everything, but most things tomorrow. So look forward to that, and we will be talking to you soon.
Have
See you next time.
Night.